We've had some developments over the course of the day with President Erdogan addressing Turkish ambassadors here, saying they're going to be spending and speeding up their spending on infrastructure and construction projects here in Turkey. In terms of the central bank, they had an announcement out a few hours ago about what they would do to shore up the liquidity for some of Turkey's banks, not necessarily looking to have an impact on the currency itself, but certainly trying to take some sort of step to try and calm investors' fears about the situation here. We heard last night from the new Treasury and Economics Minister, the son-in-law of the president, of course, that he was going to be unveiling measures this morning. Those are the measures so far, a very small effort as well by the banking regulator to step in and try and impact the limitations on swaps here as well. In terms of people I'm talking to on the street in Istanbul, some of the conversation I've had with business owners, they're of course concerned about import costs, they're concerned about their deposits. One of the big questions marks, Jim was talking earlier about the fact that they have had these currency crises here in the past. A lot of people have therefore opened euro and dollar denominated bank accounts. Almost half of all bank deposits here are in a foreign currency denomination. And those people are very, very concerned about the fact that one day there could be capital controls instituted. That's something the government so far has strenuously said they will not do. But given the opposition that President Erdogan has expressed towards interest rates in particular being increased, it doesn't leave them that many other options to try and calm the currency fluctuations we've seen over the last few days, guys.
Willem, if you had to compare the rhetoric today versus the defiant rhetoric on Friday as well, how would you do it?
Well, you actually want to follow the arc over the last few days, Carl. He's been crisscrossing the country, President Erdogan, particularly up in the northeast on the Black Sea, addressing crowds of his supporters, talking about this as an economic war, but at the same time rather flippantly dismissing the fluctuations in the lira as a storm in a teacup. So it's really not that clear to me where Erdogan stands on some of these issues, whether he does consider this a fight for Turkish survival. He's been encouraging people to go out and transfer their euros, their dollars, their gold into lira, or whether he does consider this something that's just a bit beyond him, something he's not that interested in. He's not ever really made it very clear what his views are going to be long-term in terms of the economy beyond spending. That's been a big part of Turkey's growth, of course, has been cheap borrowing for the corporate side of things here in particular, as well as the government. How they're going to service those debts is anyone's question going forward, given how expensive that debt servicing will be, whether they'll be able to roll over a lot of these loans. No one's entirely clear at this stage.